Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on the SMT. So in this video we are going to basically cover two things related to access to the SMT, how to access the SMT for the first time, and then how to log into the platform every time you want to use it. Important to highlight, we are going to be talking all the time about the online platform. There is also an offline version of the platform that is available for those locations where internet access is not reliable, but the access process is a little bit different and therefore it will be explained in a separate video. So in this video, we are going to be focusing on accessing the online platform. So basic concepts to remember before we start. So the first thing is that at the moment there is two SMT online platforms that are available to users. The access process is the same for both. So I'm going to explain it to you in one of the platforms and then you can replicate it in the other one if needed. So basically the two platforms are the training SMT, which is being used for training workshops, training of users, for demos like the one that I'm going to be doing for you today. And then we have the real data SMT platform, which is also called SMT production. And this is the platform that after you complete your training, you will be given access to, and this is where you will be entering your data. But as I said, the platforms look exactly the same. And if you know how to access one, you will know how to access the other. Important to understand that before you try to access, you need to have your account created by an administrator. Once an administrator creates an account for you, you will receive an email notification. So you need to check your emails, especially the spam inbox, to search for this notification to see whether an account has been created for you or not. If you have not received any notification at all, it's possible that your account has not been created yet. So get in touch with your local SMT administrator or with the facilitator of your training to request access. The third important point is that access to the SMT is secured. So it means that it's password protected. So you need to have a username and a password to be able to access. And this is what we are going to explain to you today in this video. Which password you need to use and how to create a password if needed. Okay, so there is going to be two different types of accessing the SMT depending on the type of email address that you have. So if you have an email address which is UNICEF, Google or Microsoft, you will be able to use what we call the single sign-on. So that means you will be able to access the SMT with the same credentials that you use for your email. So your email address is going to be your username and your email password is going to be your SMT password. So that will be very easy for you to access the SMT. If you have a different type of email address, so for example, a Yahoo account or some type of like government email, you might not be able to use this single sign-on. So in that case, when you try to access the SMT for the first time, you will need to follow a process of verifying your email address and creating a password. And this is what I'm going to explain to you now. So I'm going to click on the link to access the SMT training. Okay, this is the training platform. As you can see here, it says this is the training site. It looks exactly the same as the real platform. So to access, you just need to come here on the top right and click login. Once you click login, you will see these instructions that you need to follow. So how to access if you are a UNICEF employee, if you are using Gmail, if you are using Microsoft or others. So this is what I'm going to explain to you right now. But just for you to know that the instructions are here. So if at any time you forget, you can just like read this again and it will be very simple how to log into the platform. Okay. So I'm just going to click now, proceed to login. And I will arrive into this page, which is our authentication page. So here, the process is divided into two. So the first time is the single sign-on. So if you have a UNICEF email address, a Google Mail or Gmail email address, or a Microsoft account address, the only thing that you need to do is to click on the corresponding button, enter your username, your mail, password, and you will be given access straight into the SMT. So let me just show you that. So for example, I click on, let's say, Microsoft. I'm requested to type my Microsoft account. So I'm going to do that. Okay, I click next. I'm requesting to enter my password. I'm asked whether I want to stay signed in. If you are using your personal computer, this is quite convenient, so you don't need to enter your details every time. If you are using a shared computer, you should click no. So in this case, I'm going to click yes. And automatically I'm logged into the SMT. So the moment you see this welcome message, it means you are inside the SMT. Okay, I'm just going to log out to show you the process again. I click login. Let's say that instead of Microsoft is Gmail, is exactly the same. I just click the Google button. I land in this like Google page. I'm requested to enter my email address. In some cases, if you already signed into your browser with your Google, your email address will show automatically. But in this case, I'm going to type it. I'm requested to enter the password. And immediately I land on this welcome page. It means I'm inside the SMT. Same process for UNICEF accounts. You click the UNICEF button, you land on this UNICEF page. You need to enter your UNICEF account. You land on the UNICEF page and you are requested to enter your password and sign in. In this case, I don't have a password for this email address, but it's exactly the same. You enter your UNICEF password and you will access the SMT. Now, when you are doing this process for the first time, it's possible that you see like an additional screen asking you to like approve access of the SMT to your username or things like that. So you just need to click yes or approve, and that's it. But every time you want to access the SMT using the single sign-on, is very simple. You just need to click on the specific button that corresponds to your email type and enter your credentials. Now, if you are using a different type of email that does not offer this single sign-on process, you need to follow a different way of signing in if it's the first time or if it's like the second, third, fourth time. So for the first time, what you need to do is to come here and click sign up now, because you will be required to verify your identity. So you click sign up now, and it's telling you verification is necessary. So you need to enter your email address. So in this case, I'm going to use my Yahoo. So I click here, my Yahoo, and I click send verification code. So automatically, this is going to send a code to your inbox. So I'm going to go to my emails, my inbox, and automatically I can see here there is a message that says Microsoft on behalf of UNICEF. This is basically the SMT. So I open it and it's giving me a specific code. So the only thing that I need to do is to copy this code, go back to this verification page, paste it here, and click Verify Code. My email address is now verified and I can continue. So the second part of this process is now to create a password. So I'm just going to enter a password here. You can choose the password that you want. There is a minimum requirement. When you start typing, you will see here the instructions of what are the minimum requirements for your password to make sure that it's secure enough. But at the same time, make sure that you select a password that you are going to remember. So I'm just going to enter a password that I have chosen. Okay, I need to confirm it again. And then here under display name, given name, surname, I can just enter my personal details. I'm just going to enter something random. So new user. And I click create. In this case, it's probably not going to work because I have already followed this process before. My Yahoo account is already verified. Yeah, so as you can see here, it says like this ID already exists. But when you are doing this for the first time, the moment you click create, your account will be verified. Okay, so this is the process that you need to follow when you're accessing the SMT for the first time. Now I'm going to cancel. Let's assume that you have already completed that process and now you want to log into the SMT again. Every time you want to use the platform, what you need to do is to use these two fields here, email address and password. So you will be entering here the email address that you have verified. And you need to enter here the password that you have chosen for yourself. You click sign in and automatically you are inside the SMT. So as you can see, the process is relatively simple. I will show it to you once more. If you are UNICEF, Google, Microsoft, you simply click the buttons. If you have a different type of account, when you want to access for the first time, you click sign up now and you follow the verification process of your account and the password creation. When you want to access the SMT for the following times, you just enter your email address, your password and click sign in. So basically this is the process of accessing the SMT. Thank you so much for listening and I will see you in the next video.